Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to another video, guys. It has been a roller coaster of a week. Aaron's hair is standing straight up. There must be caffeine involved. Hell, I don't know. It must be MSS hair gel. If you're not in the Telegram, especially in the last 24 hours, let me tell you, you are missing out on some hella good information to not only teach you how to pad your own bags, but how to create a price floor for MSS. Guys, let's go. The energy is technically never left, but the light bulb moment has come on for a lot of people in the ecosystem on how to use all the tools that are laid out in front of you. We're developing strategy in the Telegram. It's getting thick. It's getting juicy. There's liquidity flowing everywhere and all over the place. Aaron, by God, take it away.
Yes, thanks for that great introduction.
Thank you for the sympathy.
So we got a lot to talk about today. There's two main, projects we're going to be talking about, or I guess three. Obviously we have Book that launched fairly recently, got some big updates related to Book. And we got a lot going on in the mint stake share ecosystem with Moon Yield, some strategies to talk about, and some big alpha I'm going to drop on you guys today that I didn't even tell anybody on the team about. So it's going to be a surprise for everybody. So.
Oh boy. Let me go put some gel in my hair. Oh my God.
Do it. So I think a good place to start would be Book, just because I don't think I have quite as much to talk about that. So we can get that kind of taken care of, and then we can move into the some of the MSS stuff. So Book, let's just talk a little bit about what's happened with it so far, and what's happened in the last day, and just kind of since it launched. So if I pull up the full chart here, obviously after trading launched, a lot of us were expecting the price to start skyrocketing immediately, and as you can see, we came down a little bit, and we're starting that recovery right now. I think there's a couple of reasons for that, and I think part of that is that our own community was really they were fully in on the pre-sale, right? The pre-sale went on for a couple of days, so our own community was fully tapped out. So I think that I guess I was expecting a little bit more of our own community to be piling in once trading started, but it makes sense that wasn't the case since the pre-sale went on for as long as it did. But everything is still on track for Book to become the biggest meme on BSC, go to $1, go to $1 billion market cap. I think our plan's even stronger now than it was, and really every meme coin has serious pullbacks, right? And what these serious pullbacks are is they're a test, right? If you held on diamond handed, like we've been talking about with Book even before trading started, you're going to be fine. If you're one of the guys that was, monkey see, monkey do, other guys are selling, you're selling the bottom, that's how you lose out, right? So this was the first test. If you're still holding, congratulations, you're on the way to becoming rich. If you got out, well, you're a trader. We probably don't want you, but if you want to come back in, we'll maybe let you. So, you might want to think about that. But yeah, no, it's, this is good. This is the first test of many. We're going to have serious pullbacks, with the price action we're going to get in the future. There's going to be people that are going to want to sell. And it's just, the thing is that every time we have one of these deep pullbacks, we're basically increasing the percentage of our holders that are believers, right? So like when we have a big pullback, you got all these Jeets that panic and sell, that's fine. But, you're basically transferring the ownership from, say half traders, half believers. Maybe we're 75% believers and 25% traders after this pullback, right? Next time we do a big pullback, we're going to get rid of some of those other traders and have even more believers. And then our pullbacks are going to get smaller, right? And it's, actually the best way that I can kind of explain this is, excuse me. So like, let's just say like 80% of us diamond hand this, no matter what the chart's doing. We don't even care about the chart. We know it's going to $1. So we don't care. The chart goes down, we maybe buy a little bit, but we don't even think about selling. If 80% of us do that, then that 80% of us are the winners, right? When the other guys are selling, if we're not following their lead, if we're holding our ground, the only one that loses is the guy that sold, right? It's only when other people pile in and start selling after that guy that now you're creating a whole bunch of losers, right? So, really, it just all boils down to, we're taking this to $1, whether people want to believe it or not. It's going to happen. So, the more of you that believe, the earlier, the more that are going to get rich with it. And all I can say is, don't let a red chart scare you. It's just a test, and we're just getting rid of the traders, and we're giving the believers a better entry. So that's the main thing I wanted to say about the price action. If anybody has any questions about book or the price action, we have a 24-hour boost going on right now. I'm not sure how we dropped all the way to 8th trending, but we were as high as rank 2. So yeah, that's book. So book's been looking really great, and with the features we got coming up, it's just going to start going parabolic. So let's talk real quick about some of the features that are going to be coming to book, and then we'll switch over to talking MSS. Let me go to the Medium article. Where do I have that? All right. Sorry for the flashbang for those that like dark mode. Actually, before I get into this, a comment here. Traders or traders? That's a good question, because when I saw those sells pouring on book when the price action wasn't like perfect on the first day, it's like, everybody in the community saying, oh, we're going to diamond hand this. We're going to diamond hand this. And then, I see these wallets just selling, and then someone sells and somebody else sells. I mean, I don't know if these guys are sheep or monkey see, monkey do. They can't make their own decisions. I don't know what's wrong with these guys, but they're not getting rich. So I'm not going to worry about the people that don't know how to, buy and hold. But yeah, it's funny that what people say and what they do is often two completely different things. But anyways, the true diamond handers will succeed and will be the winners. So there's a lot to take in with this article, and I don't want to go over it in too much detail. I just want to kind of briefly go over the 2 major changes that are going to be coming in the next week, and I'll happily answer questions about them. So the first one, there's a bit of confusion about this one. It's pretty straightforward. It's the book farms are basically when I designed book, I said, okay, we're going to have a big chunk of the tokens that are specifically allocated to farms. And the sole purpose of that is to be able to get all these different guys that are using all these different projects on BSC, holding these different BSC tokens, and get them to come earn with book, earn a few book, get a taste for it, get a feel for our DApp, get a feel for our community. Most importantly, actually, get some book, join our community, see how strong and great our community is. And then they're going to want to buy a proper bag. That's the purpose of the farm, right? So it's, I think that at first, a lot of guys were looking at this as like a yield farm opportunity, which for anyone that's not familiar, basically means they're just going to be farming book to sell it for a profit, right? And just but not like hold book long term. They're looking at it just to like farm as much book as they can to be able to sell it and maybe compound their position or, whatever their strategy might be. That's not the intended use of the farms whatsoever. And, that's why some big changes are coming to kind of address that head on. Because, I think that we could do a great job just being a regular meme coin. So this utility needs to be a huge benefit to us, not any kind of, negative, right? And when the farms are being used as a yield farm, it's a negative to book. It doesn't do book any good. But when farms are going to be used to kind of grow our audience organically using tokens that we've already allocated for these farms, it's a great way that we can grow into the tens or hundreds of thousands of users and holders without having to pay marketing dollars or anything of the sort. So yeah, the first change that we've made to kind of help us hit our goals there is that nothing's changed for this current chapter that we're in. So we just switched over to chapter 2. Let me actually pull that up. So if we go over to farm books, you'll see a default over to chapter 2 now, which is actually a really good time for me to remind you guys, if you guys have assets in chapter 1, great time to withdraw them and move them into chapter 2. I think I got some assets in this wallet I could do that with right now, actually. Just do that while I'm talking. So just again, to clarify, chapter 1 rewards, chapter 1 just switched over to chapter 2. So chapter 1 rewards are done. So you can withdraw your assets there. You're not going to miss anything. And then you want to get into the chapter 2.
So you staked $2,000 of cake for the week and made about $147 in book, right?
I think I might have Yeah, I forget if I collected on that or not, but My better one's the bomb one, actually. I'll show you that one in a sec. Let me answer a question here while I'm doing this. Deposit fee gone. No, so the deposit fee is going to be gone for chapter 3. Chapter 2 is going to work exactly like chapter 1. So I basically just withdrew that. So now I got my cake back. I got my rewards. Oh, I already collected this. This was a juicy one. This was like $500.
Oh, wow.
I'll just take this out. Well, I'm holding like, at the time I was holding like 1/3 of the TVL, and it had pretty good rewards. So.
All
right. What was I talking about? Deposit fee. Yeah. So the
deposit is going to be for chapter 3.
Yeah. So, I guess like chapter 3. So I didn't even get into the change for chapter 3. So one of the changes is going to be no deposit fee, because we want to have it be like zero barrier to entry, zero risk, right? So if somebody wants to come and deposit some cake or some XRP or whatever they want to deposit, the worst case scenario for them should be maybe they don't earn as much as they would like to earn, and they just withdraw their assets and they're out nothing, right? So like that's zero risk. And this is something that we can promote like massively, because, if there's a zero risk opportunity to make money, for one, the APR does not need to be high. It can be 5% a year or 10% a year, right? Like if there's no risk and people have nothing better to do with those assets anyways, 5% a year is better than nothing, right? And what that allows us to do is take in potentially tens or hundreds of millions of dollars into our farms, even with very small APRs, but it's accomplishing the goal perfectly, because it will have, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of users using the Book app, getting some book, seeing the chart, seeing the community, seeing the features that we're introducing, seeing the team, seeing everything great that we got going on, which is all that they need to see to want to secure a nice bag for themselves.
And especially the last 24 hours, man, it's been on fire, dude.
Yeah. We're just barely getting started, man. Like, what is it to a dollar now? It's from the pre-sale price, $1 was a 250x, but right now we're over half the pre-sale price, but yeah, so it's probably kind of like a 400x to $1 from here, which is very achievable. It's it really just comes down to the believers holding strong, and when you see any kind of dip, don't be afraid and start dumping your position, right? Don't get shaken out. That's the time to add, if anything, or just stay calm and tell your friends it's a good time to buy, right? And that really is all there is to it. I kind of lost my train of thought there.
You were talking about the rewards in and out of the farm, gaining exposure to the ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thank you, sir. So the big change coming for chapter 3, and this is, I got so much to talk about. I got to try to not make this AMA 4 hours. So the book farms, they're going to have, the first change we're introducing is there's going to be a cap to how much any individual wallet can earn in book. So that cap is going to start at 10,000 book per wallet. And this is basically going to prevent people from using this as a yield farm, and everyone is going to need to buy a bag of book if they want to succeed with book. The farming book is not going to give you enough to, get the exposure that you really should be having. There's a lot of different ways that we can tweak this in the future and add fun kind of side things to this, where, potentially we could allow wallets to farm more than 10,000 book if they do certain things. So if they, for example, use the next feature I'm about to talk about, that potentially could give them a bit more allowance in the farms, or if they burn, that could give them allowance in the farms, or maybe if they refer people, we could factor in referrals in the future. There's a million different ways we can go with this. And as you guys know,
referrals have always been great.
Yeah, I push things out super quick. So as soon as the right ideas come across, we'll make it happen. My cats are going absolutely wild right now. I think they had some of my caffeine.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that cat gone batshit crazy. Yep.
Yeah.
Good way to put it. So yeah, that's the main change coming to the farm is going to be the 10,000 book cap. It's going to be per wallet. I know some people have said, what happens if somebody uses multiple wallets? That's something we're not going to be protecting against in Chapter 3. So if somebody decides to use a couple wallets, then, so be it. If it becomes a problem, I've got a couple of great solutions from mild to drastic that will address the multiple wallet problem. So, we'll see how important that is for, to implement something like that. But yeah, I mean, I've got solutions that, the most extreme one would be something that actually requires you to do something with, like, say, I don't want to get into all that. It's too much to explain. But yeah, something that would actually verify you're a human before you could qualify for getting rewards. But I mean, that puts a bit of a barrier to entry on getting into the farm. So that's why I want to use that as a last resort. So I'm trying to make it as, seamless as possible for a new person to come in. But again, if that ends up causing a problem with multiple wallets per person, then I'll try the more easy method of preventing multiple wallets before going to the extremes. Retroactive the 10K. No, so everything that you earn in Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 is not going to be subjected to any limits. So, no matter what you earned in those two chapters, it's when Chapter 3 starts, every wallet's going to have that 10K cap.
Good to know.
Let's see what I got.
Thank you for that question, Killis.
Yep, thanks for the question. Yeah, can't stress this one enough. The way to make big money with books is to buy and hold a bag, just like any other meme coin. It's not a yield farm. It's a meme coin. It's a meme coin that has utility that's going to help make everybody richer quicker because the farms are going to grow our user base, right? So everybody should really love the farms, even if that's not the way that you're really making money through book, right? It's just, kind of just a shortcut to success, I guess you could say, with the way it can grow our user base. So we'll have this change active for Chapter 3. So let's go back here. Actually, I didn't really go through this too quick. So I know in the past I mentioned I was going to be updating how these farms look on, like, the main farm page, but because we're making such major changes to farms for the next chapter, I kind of just put that on the back burner because I'm going to really look at the farms from, like, a top down and see, like, how best to implement these changes and if there's maybe any other improvements I can make while I'm at it. So again, the way that you use these farms, for anyone not familiar, these chapter buttons at the bottom is going to be the key to navigating between the chapters. And unfortunately, it's not showing you, like, which farms you're deposited in. So you kind of got to click and, and check which ones you're in. That is an improvement that we will have in the future, where you can just kind of see everything at a glance. But so, like, what you'd want to be doing if you're already in Chapter 1 is you'd want to go in, you'd want to withdraw your assets. Then at the bottom here, you'd want to scroll over to Chapter 2. And just to make it a little bit easier, I put, like, the chapter that you're in the title here. And then you would just, go over and make a deposit. Actually, I'm just going to deposit this right now just because, what is this transaction? So yeah, you basically just want to move your assets over into the Chapter 2 farms and just double check all your Chapter 1 farms to make sure you got everything out. Yeah, so that's pretty much how you do this. Burning books, I would say, guys, hold off on doing burns just because the burns, I need to slightly rework the burn system just because there is that cap now on how much each wallet can earn. So you don't have quite the same incentive to, like, burn super hard for, your particular farm that you enjoy. So I think, I'm still playing around with some ideas, but I think, like, myself and the team, we should probably determine, like, say, maybe like half of the reward allocations. So, like, for example, 4.8 million book in a week of emissions. I think that the team should determine, like, some of these big projects that we want to get their users onboarded, we need to have farms for those tokens. So that's something that I think the team should control that, and then maybe leave the burning mechanism up to, like, the other 50% of the farm rewards. Cat was calm until you mentioned the cap. Doesn't like it, but I do. Cat's got to smarten up. That's funny. Yeah. So So yeah, because of that, I wouldn't recommend doing burns until we've kind of like really solidified like how the user burns are going to impact the chapter 3 farms. I still think there's some value to, burning and, maybe getting some extra tokens onto the, list of farms, that something that you want to see there. Again, I'll get more details about this out in the near future. But actually another idea that I didn't really talk too much about yet is, potentially we could use burns to have kind of gamify a way to add new tokens to our farms. So even with the 10,000 cap coming up, just say that, a project dev or a community of a project says, hey, it'd be cool if our farm was on Book. So they could, maybe like every week we'd have like 1 or 2 tokens that graduate out of this like gamified, challenge to see which is the next token that's going to qualify to, get a Book farm. So, we could have like, just to throw some example numbers, and sorry, I'm a little bit all over the map now because I got so much on my mind with all the different things. But let's just say like it costs like, I don't know, a 50,000 burn to just get that token in the door in terms of like the gamified, add the next token to the Book farms. So, anybody could come in with like a burn of say 50,000, that token would get on a list. It'd be a different list from this main burning section. It'd be like a, kind of like a gamified, add a new token to Book. But once those tokens are there, so just say like 3 devs come and they each burn 50,000 Book to get their token in that competition. Now anybody that has Book will be able to jump in there and burn and help to determine like which one of those 3 is going to make it out and graduate into having an actual farm. So I think that that's a fun way that we can kind of continue the burning even with the the chapter the cap that's coming on earnings in the farm. So yeah, there's a lot of good ideas of how we can still keep the burning system kicking hard. I mean, we've got 3.4 million burns. We had some hard burns come in there at the end of chapter 2. I think Cake took the lead there.
Yeah.
Elephant got a huge burn too. Wow. Yeah. So actually, I think Elephant's in the lead. Oh no, Cake slightly outpaced it. But interesting. So yeah, that's some of the ideas related to farms and what's going to be coming with the farms. And again, there's going to be continuous improvements to the farms in terms of, potentially feature improvements in the future, but specifically just UI improvements, just to make this so that anybody can use this, right? Somebody that's brand new to crypto that maybe got a little bit of XRP or a little bit of Cake and, they're just exploring DeFi. Like this should be a very welcoming dApp for them to say, they can safely and confidently deposit their assets, earn some Book, get that great staking DeFi feel maybe for the first time, and kind of fall in love with Book as their first meme coin potentially. So I think there's a lot of great ways that can go, and a lot of big improvements that we can make to just make everything a lot easier for the users.
What's next, good sir?
I just got a question here. I just don't even understand why we burned the token. I already got a lot to cover, so I'll let you read the docs for that one, or maybe ask in our community, and people will be happy to answer. I mean, essentially, you're burning to improve the farm emissions for the next week, but for more details,
intent of gaining more.
Yeah, although with the 10,000 cap coming up, not so much that part, but yeah. But yeah, I'd suggest just asking for more details in the community, and we can definitely answer you over there. So that was the first big change that was announced. And I think that's, I think the main thing that's going to do for us is it's going to get people, instead of looking at Book as a yield farm and a token that you sell as soon as you get the rewards, people are going to start looking at it the way it should be looked at, which is the ultimate meme coin on BSC. And, we're setting our targets on overtaking Book of Ethereum and Book of Memes on Sol. And, we want to surpass those levels. And, I know that if we all work together, it's going to happen really quick. And the more of us that believe in Diamond Hand and, buy dips instead of selling dips, the sooner we'll get there. So now this next one is a little bit complicated to explain. I'll give you guys a brief overview of it, and then I'll answer some questions about it. Or maybe it's better to like not explain too much how it works, but kind of just how it's going to benefit and like what it's going to offer for the users.
Give us the benefits, sir.
Yeah. So just to briefly go over like the idea behind this. Right now we're all early investors in a meme coin that we feel is gonna, has the potential to 400x, 1000x. What that's gonna do for all of us early holders is you're gonna be sitting on a bag that's worth a lot of money. And it's not so easy to exit those positions that, when you have, say 1 million book tokens and then books at $1, well, now you got $1 million worth of book, right? And that's something that, it can do damage to the chart if, a bunch of guys that are in that position are all exiting at the same time. And, what I think is a better way for anyone that's, kind of a whale or semi-whale, or maybe not even a whale, that wants to trim down their position without hurting the price of the token, is you can make a one-sided V3 LP pair. For anyone that doesn't know what that is, actually, I could actually demo that super quick. Do you guys want me to demo that?
Yeah, demo it.
All right. Because I got a pretty big position in one of my wallets, and I'll just go ahead and do it. Oh, that's not the right one. All right. So let's make a one-sided LP pair.
Popcorn out, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's not the right tokens. So book 1% LP. So this is pretty cool. You can actually see like where the liquidity is in the V3 pair. So as you can see on my assets here, I've got no BNB because I'd rather have book. I got a bunch of book here. So what I'm going to do is let's take a look at, so the current price is 265,000 book per BNB. Most important thing actually is everything I'm doing here is you're going to be able to do with one click on our DApp, and you're going to see numbers and stats that make more sense to you than the ones that I'm working with right now. And I'll explain that in a second. But just to show you from a more technical side how I would do this interacting directly with PCS, I'll show you guys that. So let's just say an example one-sided LP position is, right now we're at 265,368 book per BNB. So let's say what I want to do is I want my position to slowly sell over the course of book doing a 10x from here, right? So that's easy, right? Because then for my other price range, I just got to put this to 10% of what it's at. So I can basically just drop a 0, right? So I'll just paste that over here and drop a 0. And so basically what this is going to do is my price range is going to be between the current price right now and then the price where, basically book is worth 10 times more relative to BNB. So this is basically my position would fully convert to BNB when essentially book drops a 0 on the price, when it does a 10x. So, this is something that might take a little bit longer for it to fully convert to BNB. So you could do something that's like kind of like halfway in between, like maybe I only want it to do a 2x. Maybe I want to be fully out of book and I want to be into BNB after just a 2x from here. So what I would do is I would just cut this number in half, right? So 262, that's like what, 130,000 roughly. So there we go. So now it would just take book doing a 2x and my position would be fully converted into BNB. But just because I'm actually going to create a position live for you guys here, I don't want my book to start selling at this low price. So I'm going to say my initial price is going to be near our pre-sale price. So let's go 170,000. So that would be like right near 004, right near the pre-sale price. And then I want it to sell real slowly. I'm going to sell it. I'm going to basically have my position start at the pre-sale price, and it's going to not convert to BNB until it's 10x higher than that. So basically it's at 4 cents. So this is something that, like, me just understanding these numbers, I'm able to just, plug these in super quick. But again, this is the whole purpose of the tool that I'm creating, is that you can get results like this without having to understand all the numbers and having to actually plug in raw numbers. We're just going to give you a couple simple options for, your initial price. Do you want it to start at the current price? Do you want it to start, 50% higher than the current price, 100% higher? And then, like, how wide do you want your range to be, right? Do you want book to have to do a 2x before your book converts to BNB, a 5x, a 10x? And so we're just going to make that super simple for everybody. So I really like this position here, right? So roughly pre-sale price and towards 10x pre-sale price. So because I like that so much, I'll put a bunch in here. I'll put like I don't know, 3.3 million book. That looks good. So basically what the new book feature is going to do is it's going to let you do exactly what I'm doing here, but because you're doing this through the book DApp, and if you're willing to lock your position in the book smart contract until your position becomes BNB, we're going to give you a big bonus on your book. So let me just explain what that means for you guys, and why this is going to, this feature alone has the potential to bring book like crazy parabolic. So right now, I'm adding 3.3 million book to this single-sided LP. And keep in mind, it's not going to start converting to BNB until pre-sale price, which is almost like double the current price, or not quite, 36% higher. And then it's going to sell throughout a 10x from there. So basically, I'm going to be selling book between 0.004 and 4 cents. So this trade alone, once this converts to BNB, will be an extreme profit, because obviously I bought the token down here and it's going to be selling it at an average price of 2 cents, right? Or 2.5 cents or whatever, from 0.004 to 4 cents. So this is the real kicker. This is what's really going to make things explode. When you do this through our DApp, we're going to bonus you. So my 3.3 million book that I'm about to deposit, doing this through the book DApp, you're going to get, I didn't decide the exact numbers, and they might be variable depending on what parameters you pick, but something like this would qualify for, like, say, a 30% bonus. So roughly I'd get like an extra, 1 million book added to my LP position to do this on the book DApp. So it's simple. It gives you a way to unload some book without hurting the book price, and you get a massive bonus. So like, I don't have the exact numbers of how much this would turn into, but you can see like 3.3 million book is worth 8,400 right now. And you throw a 30% bonus on top of that, that's another like what, $2,000, $2,500. If I had to guess the amount of BNB I would get out of this once it goes through this range, for one, I'm already up 30% just from that bonus I get just for making the position on the book DApp. And then, my average price while selling this would be like 10x higher than the current price. Actually, I think probably even higher than that. So it's like I get 30% bonus immediately, then a 10x on top of that, and I'm cashing out in BNB. Right? Like it's just mind blowing. I probably didn't explain that well enough. But like, this is the way that if there's no reason not to participate in this, just because of the fact like you get a huge bonus. And if you are a believer, which is why I believe most of us are here, we know that book is going to push through these price ranges. Especially the more people that do this, they're locking up book in the V3 LP, and once they see the price start moving, they're going to say, hey, I don't want all my book to convert to BNB. I better buy another bag right now. Or once this position already converted to BNB, they're going to say, damn, I don't have enough book. I better go buy some book. And now they're buying book at a much higher price because, for one, they just gained a whole bunch of BNB. And yeah, I don't know how well of a job I'm doing explaining this, but basically, like, if we're not even making that feature, this is like a position that I'd be happy to open. Just because it's like a great way for me to offload some book at higher prices, and I still hold on to a ton of book. So let's just go ahead and make that.
Aaron, that's a great technique to educate everybody on, because everybody wants the price for their asset to stay as high as possible, and that's good to learn how to properly offload your bag.
Yeah, like the thing is that like doing this and doing it, like it takes a lot of understanding of a lot of the mechanics and the numbers and everything to do what I just did and be confident that you set it up how you want it set up is a difficult thing. So that's where I think the book DApp tool, I can take all that complexity away, right? So I can just say, hey, you have this much book, that you want to put into this V3 LP. And then, you just have two simple options of, basically how aggressive you want to be with the prices. Which is basically going to determine these numbers that I was inputting here, but it's going to do it all for you. And then it can have great calculations to say, okay, well, you're putting in, say, like 1 BNB worth of book right now. And, with the bonus, that's now like, 1.3 BNB worth of book. But once this moves through your price range, you're going to cash out 8 BNB and all the trading fees along the way. Like who's not going to want to do that? And you have a couple guys starting to do this. And now other guys see it and they want to do it, but they don't have book yet. So they got to buy a fat book position to start doing this. And then the cycle repeats. And next thing you know, majority of our tokens are locked up in V3 LPs. But the V3 LP guys are going to be laughing too, because all this buy pressure is going to be getting these book positions pushing through those price ranges super quick. So it's just going to be like a money factory, right? Like it's wild. Like it's a tough concept to explain. And I think I'm doing a mediocre job right now, but on the book DApp, I've already started working on the page. It's not ready yet, but I'm going to put up like a page that's kind of like a template page that just says like coming soon, but it's going to talk about all the features and advantages of doing this. So, and actually, luckily for anyone that was watching our book trading launch stream where I did like the liquidity lock right on UNCX. So I'm actually I looked over their contract because they basically have a contract that does a lot of very similar stuff to what I need to do for this feature. So their contract is beautifully designed. It's open source. I'm going to take it and I'm going to take full advantage of it. And I'm going to, have a super robust V3 LP single-sided option for all you bookers. So, so I'm kind of debating if, the V3 tool, we could also have a second option, which is similar to like what I originally talked about, which was just, you can make a V3 LP single-sided on our site and you just get it, right? It just gives it to you. As opposed to having it locked, right? Like, so the locked one is going to get a fat book bonus, right? So you put in 1 million book and you're going to get a 1.3 million book position created for you. So 300,000 book coming out of nowhere. But because you're getting that bonus, we're going to lock that LP in our smart contract, which is very similar to UNCX and it's been audited by tons of people and very secure. So we're going to basically have that option where you can lock it and get the bonus. But if you don't want to get the bonus, or I guess if you don't want to lock it and you're okay to not take that 30% bonus, then I think that we'll have an option where you can just make the V3 LP and it'll just send it to your wallet so that you can kind of, do what you please with it. So yeah, my position was created here. So
you're back above a penny in MSS, sir.
Nice. Beautiful. Let's pop that chart open. Look at that. Let's go. Can't help but be proud of that. So I think I've covered most of the book stuff I wanted to talk about. If there's any book questions, definitely drop them in. I'm going to go through some of the comments here just to see if there's anything I missed. Aaron, great job. Keep kicking butt. If 10,000 book is burned before week 3, can it go ahead and make the cut? I'm asking. Well, I mean, the cutoff already happened, right? So book didn't qualify. For the next one, there's going to be that 10,000 cap in place. But yeah, I mean, you could still burn for drip or for any other project. And again, I haven't ironed out exactly how that's going to work. So you might want to wait until I've kind of laid out exactly how that works, because, right now your burns are going 100% towards determining the farming allocations. But I'm thinking about having like myself or team decide like 50% of them. So which means that like your burns would only be impacting like half of the rewards instead of the full rewards. So, I mean, if you want to go burn in the meantime, that's fine. But, might be better to wait until we solidify exactly what that burn is going to do for you. Is there a link to do the LP for book? It's further incentivized for diamond holding. 100%. That's the purpose of it. So I actually started building that like page. It's going to just be a link here that says like, what did I call the link? Let me see. It's going to say V3 LP tool. And yeah, that's where you're going to go to access that. I'll actually probably get that up and running very, very soon. Just like the basic page that just talks about the benefits and advantages. I asked and immediately answered before he even saw the question clearly. It was on the agenda. No detail left behind. Oh, I think that's related to the question that I just answered. Yeah. Yeah.
In other words, he was asking you already on it.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta mention this one. Cracked the caffeine. It's on. I'm a double fisting caffeine. Got a massive coffee and a rock star. So we're ready to rock.
While your freaking hair standing straight up, man.
Yeah. So this would be a great alternative for whales. So they can get profit but not hurt price.
100%.
Exactly, right? Like, I mean, I've been whales in a couple different meme coins. And it's just like, even without any bonus, this is a strategy that I would often take, right? If I see the price is looking like it's improving, it just makes more sense. Like, why would I sell right now and dump the price? And we all know what the Jeets do after they see one big sell, they start following suit. So I say, hey, I'll create a one-sided LP. And I'll, if the price keeps moving the direction that I think it's going to keep moving, then I don't put my whole position there, right? I definitely hold a big bag to the side for Moon, but if I'm just looking to say, okay, I'm already up 10x, I want to start trimming my position, that's a great way to start trimming like 10, 20, 30% of your position.
20%. Yeah, something like
20,
that.
20, maybe 5 or yeah. But yeah, the key is like, you don't want to put your entire position into this, right? Because then, book moons and you're going to be stuck with, you're going to have a great profit on that BNB you got, but you're not holding book that, maybe just pumped up another 10 or 15x beyond what you got. So JD, the DGen King. Wow, can't wait. I'm booked. Yeah, let's turn that page. Get on that next chapter. Absolutely sick. Bullish as F. Love that idea. New to LPing, but incentive. Yeah, and I know the V3 LPs can be pretty complex, especially for people that aren't like super involved in LPing in general. So that's why like the main goal of our LP page is going to be just to make it dirt simple, right? Like just how much book you want to put in, and a couple of very basic options, and then it's going to show you all the stats. It's going to say, $1 million, you're putting in 100,000 book, you're getting 30,000 book for free, and it's going to be locked here until the price is over this. And this is exactly how much BNB you're going to be able to withdraw once the price is over that point.
Pretty much, Aaron, to put it in stock market terms, it's like setting a limit sell order higher in price of a stock.
Yeah.
And you're not going to trade it until it hits that price.
Exactly. And we're basically saying, okay, you're being a friendly whale, or you're being a friendly participant by doing this, that we're going to give you a bonus on your position. So it's almost like you go to your brokerage account in traditional stocks and you put a limit order, and they're like, hey, you're putting a limit order up there. That's really great of you. How about we just give you 30% more shares to sell while you're at it for free, right? And that's essentially what we're doing. You can buy book and keep adding to your LP position at any time when we start this. So the LP positions, so the contract that I'm going to be using as a base, they actually do allow you to add to the position. But because of the way that we're bonusing the book into the position, I think for us, it probably makes sense that you're going to make a position, you're going to get the bonus, it's going to be on the DAP. And if you want to add or create a second position, you're going to be able to make as many of these positions as you want, but I'm not sure how much we're going to want people modifying existing positions. So I think, yeah, if you want to add, it's just simply going to be making a new position. But you could have 100 positions. We're not going to limit how many you can have open.
Yeah, because then you can strategize, put it in ranges and all kind of things.
Yeah, because then you could have all kinds of different ranges, right? You could have one where it's going to get to your price, your final price quickly, so you'll get that BNB out sooner. But maybe you put a bigger chunk of it into something that's a bit more long, with a further target on the price, so that you're going to get a lot more BNB out of it, but it's going to be locked up a bit longer.
And that way, when you go to work, you'll know that your bag is working for you.
It would be about $250,000. Yeah, I think that comment was from something we said a while ago, but either way, $250,000 sounds great. So let's go with that. Loving all three platforms. Keep it up, guys. We're going to keep on doing our thing until everybody here is rich. You also earn fees and BNB and book in the process. Yep, it's a 1% fee LP. So, a lot of guys are going to be making some really good fees. Not very technical, but I understand and love it. The easier to make money, the better. Yeah, and that's always an approach I've taken. I think it's got to be, the more people that can grasp it and use it, the more successful we'll be. So,
Dwight, is that your pirate hat in that profile pic, man? If it is, let me know. That's pretty cool.
Interesting. Wild. Yeah, it's we just launched Book and already we're doing things that I've never seen from any meme coin, and we're dropping new things that we're progressing at a crazy pace. Book, any buy on Book under 10 cents is a steal, and that's what is that from here? That's a 50x from here. So
not hard at all.
So we'll be earning trading fees. Sounds great. Yeah, I mean, I'd say like the main objective of this is not so much the trading fees, although that will be a great extra earner for you. I'd say like the best thing is that you're getting bonus Book for free, and you're converting, when you want to trim your position, you're converting your Book to BNB at a higher price than the current price with free Book, not hurting the Book price at all. It's the less people that we have selling Book, like it's just going to make this go absolutely parabolic. So
the key is to know how to exit, guys. That's the key.
Yeah, we don't need everybody to, do what we're saying to do, right? Like it's expected that some guys there's going to be some malicious guys that are going to buy a big bag and they're going to try and dump it with their friend at the same time. And that's going to be our next test, right? Who's going to follow suit and, dump after them and, get washed out or shaken out. And, let's see who stands the test of the next dump. And, the more people that can stand the test, the quicker the dump will be over and we'll be back to moving towards our $1 target. This is a whale move in every token you're in, for your information. Oh, did you mean there is a whale move? Yeah, there's,
what you're talking about is a whale move.
Yeah. I mean, it'll work for everybody, but it especially works for whales because like the smaller guys, they won't really hurt the chart if they sell. But the way that I'm framing this though, is that it's beneficial no matter what your size is. I mean, it's ultra beneficial for a whale to do it because for one, their bonus is going to be bigger, and the negative that they would do to the chart if they did a quick sell would be a lot bigger than if a small person sold, right? I mean, this will be beneficial for everybody. CC, you're actually doing a great job of explaining something that is brand new for a lot of folks. It seems a bit complex, but you're making it understandable in one shot. Yeah, I think you might be being a little bit generous there, but yeah, I'm trying my best. Team, thank you. This will be insane. Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to develop too. To be honest, the last couple of days I've been pretty hyped and just sticking around the TG chats and getting raids pumping and doing all kinds of stuff. So I haven't been quite as much in the code as I want to, but definitely want to be diving in right away. Super pumped to build this. How long is a lock? Oh, what an excellent question. This is kind of an innovation that we're doing with this. So most locks are time locks, as you can see from the question. How long is the lock? We're not doing a time lock. We're doing what I've liked to call a price lock, right? So it's locked until it's at a certain price, and that certain price is going to be the end of your range in the V3LP, right? So like to go back to my example here.
Then you go inactive.
Right now I'm inactive, just especially because I put the price range like way above. So you can see here, the current price, is this good? There we go. The current price is 260,000 Book per BNB. So I need the price to increase like 50% roughly for that to drop down to, or maybe this is a better way to look at it. Nope, never mind. So let's say very roughly, I need the price to go up 50%. And then my position will start to be like in the money. Then the Book will start converting to BNB. And then from there, I'd need about a 10x from that point for my position to be fully converted to BNB. And once my position's fully converted to BNB, that's when I'd be able to withdraw it from the Book dApp. But like, I think that might scare some people, but I think the important thing to remember is our farm is going to get capped. No one's going to be milking the rewards there. And also the rewards there aren't even that big. Like this wallet that I just used to make this position, I bought more tokens than the entire emissions for one of the weeks, right? Like it's not like the farm emissions are the end of the world if people sell them, right? It's not that much tokens. Yeah, I think that having this feature here, this will be the main way that you can get free Book and lots of free Book. And the thing is that Book can't get sold because it's going to be locked in an LP position that is basically, I mean, essentially it gets sold, but not directly. It gets sold as people buy into it. And then, yeah, as soon as in this example here, as soon as the current price was under 16,900 Book per BNB, that's when I would be able to withdraw it. And I'd withdraw all that BNB that would get sold at an average price of between these two prices. And I'd have all that extra bonus that I got when I created the position. So it's something that's extremely generous, and it's something that's extremely lucrative for people to participate in. And if a lot of people do this, the price is just going to keep mooning so hard that it's going to keep pushing through guys' positions, and they're just going to keep repeating the process, which just really creates a ton of buy pressure, very, very low sell pressure, and crazy price action. And this is going to be a major factor in us getting to $1 billion market cap. Where does the BNB come from? It comes from trades, right? So this is a V3LP, the same as I made when I created the trading pair for Book. But the thing is that with V3LP, you set price ranges when you create a position. So we're just strategically making price ranges where it's not in the price range right now, but it's about to be in the price range. So as people buy Book with BNB, that Book will go towards filling that LP as the price goes.
Imagine in everyday terms, in your right hand, you have an empty bucket with the BNB symbol writ on it. In your other hand, you have Book token. If somebody comes in and trades, they fill your empty bucket with BNB and they pull their Book token out.
Question
on Aaron's face says, yeah, whatever.
I was just letting you answer that while I went to the next one. Multitasking. Or as they say in airplanes, crew resource management. But to answer this, this will tell you exactly when the next chapter is starting, which also is when the current chapter ends. Like I said, I do want to show all that stuff on the farm pages. I just haven't gotten around to that yet, partly because of the big changes that are going to be coming to the farms. But yeah, for now, I would just suggest checking here. Like this will be the exact time in your local time zone. 17 or a day. Not sure what you mean. And the fees. You also earn the fees. Yep. Whale games, baby. Well explained, Amy. Again, good job. Proud of the team. Cool. Good work, Aaron. Everyone can be FBB4. If you know, you know.
FBB4.
Fully broke B4. I don't know. I don't want to be broke. Will we be able to do several positions with one wallet? We could do a tight range and a wide range to maximize opportunity. Yep, you'll be able to make an unlimited number of positions per wallet. So yeah, you can just go in there and make as many as you like. And I'm going to try and make the graphics on it really nice to show kind of like, you know, once your position is starting to convert from Book to BNB, we could have like a nice pie chart that shows, you know, how much is Book, how much is BNB, the value, you know, how much BNB you're going to get when you withdraw it once it moves through the range, an easy way to collect fees. Yeah, so we're going to have it all covered. And it's going to, you know, it's something that I think I'd be able to get done for next chapter anyways. But now that I found that the UNCX contract is so similar to what I want to be doing, and it's open source and it's extremely well developed, that's going to really speed things up and probably allow me to have more features and more confidence in some of the features. So, yep. Outstanding job, guys. Thank you. Is there a project related to BOM? I'm waiting for $1 for that project. I mean, you can jump into the BOM farms here. 5% daily. That's quite attractive. If you don't have BOM, click here and you can go buy some. I did some pretty heavy burns on BOM last chapter. So I thought this should all support MSS, but I've not heard anything yet. Well, we're talking about MSS next. And, you know, this does support MSS in some ways. And the biggest way it did that is it, you know, it gave Moonshare a ridiculous boost with the pre-sale. So, I mean, I can get into some of this stuff after. But, I mean, being part of the ecosystem, you should have picked up a bag of Book and be happy if Book does well. But if not, that's okay. We got amazing things coming for MSS as well. Until everyone here gets rich. What a great goal for a dev to have. It's been my goal since I started BOM Money like 3-4 years ago. Can it go out of range, become inactive for claim, and then go back in range if not claimed fast enough? Yeah, so just because of the way smart contracts work, if your LP does get fully converted to BNB, there would need to be an action like performed, because if nothing is done in the smart contract and then it drops back into, basically not being 100% BNB, yeah, that, so you kind of have to pay a little bit of attention to it. And there's also some things that we're going to have to do to prevent manipulation. So probably something like what we'll probably have to do is have it like, when your position is all BNB, we'll probably have you like submit a transaction to confirm that you want to withdraw it. And then like maybe like a block or two later, you'll actually be able to withdraw it, provided that the price is still in that same range, like it's still all BNB. Because there's a lot of ways that guys can manipulate the price if we didn't do protections like that, right? Like for example, like I'll put in 5 million book and I'll get a 30% bonus on that. And then all I got to do is just a quick flash loan and, pump the book price to the point where my LP is 100% BNB, take out the BNB, and then, sell the tokens that were, used to push book price up. So I'm well aware of those types of attacks. So there will be some safeties in place there that don't allow that kind of manipulation. Great question here. Where's the bonus book coming from? So we had 250 million book allocated to the farms, which is kind of like our allocation to grow the protocol and raise awareness and everything else. So because of the 10,000 cap, there's going to be a lot more rewards available there. So we're just going to allocate some of that 250 million from the farms is going to be allocated to this program. BSC, MSS base, MSS on same price. Awesome. Yes, generous compliment. True, but a good intro. There's more to understand or repeat for new folks, but good intro indeed. Thank you. Ha ha ha. Exactly. Thanks. All right. So we caught up on all the comments. So I think in terms of book, I think that's about everything I wanted to cover there. Still extremely bullish on it. And, again, anyone that didn't get shaken out, congratulations. You passed the first test. And, sure that you guys that passed the first test will likely do well in the next test or two, and there's an inevitable pullback in the future. But the more of us that the diamond hand it, the shorter the pullback will be, and the more we will rock it after. So remember, we can do this as a team. We can do this together. Just be a believer, don't be a trader. So I think that's all I wanted to cover for book. I think we can get into MSS now. Anybody have any final questions on book before we kind of switch gears? I'm going to look through my notes while we see if anything rolls in. And sorry, guys, I just realized we were talking about book for an hour. That wasn't exactly the short. I thought we were going to have like a 15-minute segment on book and then jump right into MSS. So my apologies. I guess we can
actually divide the AMA later, Aaron, to give people to go to exactly where they want.
Yeah. Geez, I let the dinner burn. Got to go. My mistake. Why can I not claim or see my chapter 1? Just make sure that when you first go to the farm page, because we're in chapter 2 now, it defaults to chapter 2. So just use that little button at the bottom to switch over to chapter 1. You'll see chapter 1 here, and then you can go into whichever. I think I got to position somewhere. Yeah, then you can go into whichever farm and you'll see it. And again, just make sure you can confirm you're in the right chapter just by whatever it says right here. Again, I know the UI UX experience of this is not ideal at this point, but again, just because the big farm change is coming, I just kind of put that on the back burner for a week or so. But this will be greatly improved. I do really like how it works, though. It's just all sorted by chapters and all the farms, and it's all working. It's working perfectly. It's just not the best user experience yet. But all right. Oh, I should say that yesterday when I first pushed the update with the chapter 2 farms, there was a mistake in my code for the first 15 minutes that I had to fix. So it actually wasn't possible to view a chapter 1 farm until I pushed that fix. So maybe if you were looking at it at that exact time, that's probably why you're having issues. Book about to go batshit crazy like your cat. I couldn't resist. Actually, I'm gonna do a buy competition for Book. Don't worry, MSS guys. I got a lot of great stuff to talk about there, so don't think you're getting left out at all. But yeah, after this AMA, let's set up a biggest buy competition. Let's put some notes here. Let's do a biggest buy competition from now until chapter 3 start. So basically running for the next week. And yeah, let's I think we can put some juicy rewards on that. I'll post the details in an announcement. But yeah, we'll have a biggest buy competition for Book. And yeah, I'll announce the rewards after. Maybe it's probably gonna be something pretty juicy, like maybe 200,000 Book or something pretty crazy. So yeah, stay tuned in the Book TG for announcements related to that. Oh, and actually one more thing I should just say real quick about Book. The community that we're building in the Book TG and with our raiders is absolutely insane. You should see the action that we're getting on the Book tweets. We've literally got everything set up for Moon. You won't find hardly a tweet about Book that doesn't have like ridiculous action on it. Like I just ran a raid on this morning. Just a tweet about Book. We're getting massive traction on every single tweet related to Book from the raid team that we built up over there. So extremely bullish stuff. And almost 800 members, almost 800 followers. All right, so I think that's it for Book for now. I got my note about the biggest buy competition. And let's switch gears. Mint stake share, Moon yield, MSS alpha, Moon yield strategy. Will the buy competition reward the biggest buy and a few random participants? I don't know. Like everybody always asks for the raffle buy competitions, but I don't know. From everything that I see, they don't seem to really generate that many buys. I think it does. Even if most people can't participate in it, I think more good comes to the project and the price action when you do a biggest buy competition. You got a couple whales competing over it. It actually drives big buys in. Where I feel like the raffle competitions, the buys seem about the same as if we weren't even running it. So it's just kind of giving money away for nothing. I know some of the smaller guys might like those, but I just haven't really seen the benefits on them. Thank you for all the retweets and shares. Indeed. Thanks for all the support across the board on everything. Okay, let's talk MSS alpha first.
So while you were busy doing that, Aaron, I was busy cycling my rewards around through the strategy we've been talking about over the last 24 hours.
So I've mentioned this briefly, but I haven't really said anything about it too firm. But what I have already done is I have created a 50% staking deposit bonus that's already active as of about an hour ago, and it's going to run for the entire month of February.
Oh, wow.
Every single MSS deposited to MSS staking from now until the end of February will get a 50% bonus. So, I know that there's a lot of excitement around Moon yield. Moon yield is a great protocol. I've been saying that since it launched. It really is like working incredibly well. But, I think that staking has kind of not seen as much action as it used to, just, partly because Moon yield's stealing the show. But I'm also working with a couple great guys that are going to really help to bring in a lot of big capital to MSS and bring a lot of people in. And I figured that this 50% deposit promo really lines up well with that new kind of partnership that I'm working on and that we got going. So yeah, that's going to be extremely bullish. The close, I'm going to be working very close with these guys that are going to, really help, bring the inflows in. And, and I think just everyone in general is going to be much more willing to create a new stake position. Even for a brand new user, they might be thinking, okay, well, I'm late to the show. Well, our price right now is quite low compared to where it's been. So if you combine that low price with a 50% deposit bonus, all of a sudden it's, becomes a great time for new people to start to get in. So I'm going to put another a note up here that says, kind of like what I had in November, 50% deposit promotion. And yeah, so that should get a lot more guys building up their staking contract positions.
So I can go ahead and tell you, my Moon Yield account's going to get real active with this, because I'll be going through Moon Yield to buy more MSS and to stake more MSS.
We got an observant viewer. You're over 7 days interaction with contract. Missing out there, Aaron. Yeah, this is the dev wallet, so I'm not really trying to milk this one. I don't really try to milk any of them, to be honest. But yeah, let's. So actually, what I'm gonna, just to show you guys this is working already. Let me just compound this in. Then I'm going to make a deposit, and we're going to see. I'm just going to demo that this deposit bonus has already taken effect, because I got a few MSS here I could work with. All right, so right now we're right now we're sitting at 2.19 million on the deposits. So let's deposit 20,000. So that should give me 30,000 with the bonus. So let's just do that. So this should be like 2.22. Yep, there we go. And look, the stake was created for 30,000. So that bonus is already live. That works for base chain. It works for BNB chain. It works for depositing any fresh liquid MSS into staking here. It also works if you go here and you auto stake. That works as well. It also works if you buy it here and then stake it. It doesn't really matter how the funds get here, but as long as it's any freshly deposited MSS, you will get that 50% bonus. So I think that we have a lot of bullish things going on with MSS in general and with Moon Yield, and I want to talk about Moon Yield right after I'm done talking about this. But I think that this promotion, along with some of the new partnerships that we're growing and gaining, along with everything that's going on with Moon Yield, I think MSS is ready for, dare I say, to push in some new all-time highs in the future. 15 cents.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's set a short-term target for 4 or 5 cents, and then we'll take it from there. But yeah, this is the time for anyone that doesn't have as much of a stake position as they'd like. Great time to add, or great time to put those referrals to work and start getting some new people in, and they get to benefit off that 50% bonus, and your 5% commission is also based off the higher amount as well. So little extra incentive for you there. Let's see. Aaron, bless you, brother. All jokes aside, man, people need this opportunity in the worst way. You're a real blessing to us. God bless you. I really mean that. Oh, thanks, man. And, I'm kind of just trying to do what I always do, and just trying to do what's best for everybody. And, I just love developing and building new things, and, I got a great community, great team working with me. So yeah, it's just a lot of fun. And, I love seeing those comments. Really motivates me even further. So thanks a lot. All right. So in terms of MSS, like I said, the bonus is already active. It's going to run till the end of February, but I will put a similar note at the top of this page that mentions the bonus. So just so everyone can see it. And I think that's about it for the bonus. What else about MSS do we want to talk about? Should we take a look at the chart?
Yeah. So, guys, over the past 24 hours, we've really and truly been talking about the key of establishing a regimented compound claim schedule. There is a YouTube video that I shared on my X account, and the MSS account reshared it. His name is G Money. Go look on that account. I can't.
Oh, the legend.
Yeah, the legend, the Moon Yield strategy, man, the roaring kitty of MSS. So I can't encourage you enough. Go to that video, watch his strategy. And guys, if everybody, there's 129 people on this live stream right now. It doesn't matter what size your bag is. It doesn't matter. You can help control this price floor. We can drive this price up. Watch what he does. Yeah, that video right there.
So should we just convert this into a reaction video? Should we just watch this and react to it?
Man, hey, go for it.
Let's can we do a poll? See if people want us to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
great.
not. It's actually it's a short and sweet video, right? It's only 7 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyways, I will link the video in all the chats just in case you guys want to watch it on your own time. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be fun to kind of just make this full screen and play it and just throw in our commentary.
Yeah, I'm gonna remix it tonight as well, man, because this is too good. I mean, this is what our ecosystem needs. You know, it is, man. We can talk about it all the time, but when one person comes in with their take on it and that light bulb moment hits, I mean, it's changed my outlook on a lot of things.
You know what I need to do though? I need to just switch my screen share settings to make sure it grabs the audio. Give me 1 sec.
Guys, seriously, like, shut your door, turn your phone, make sure no one's interrupting you. Make sure you watch this video. Like, make sure you do. Yeah.
Also share tab audio. There we go.
Like while the live stream was going, I was over here doing this strategy, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Let's switch this. 1 sec. Oops.
G Money, if you watching, chime in the comments, man.
I just want to put some of the other layouts back in. I think there's a layout where we can just be at the bottom, right? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Beauty. Hey, can I be the first, please? Thanks. Just messing around.
I bet you are.
Okay, so let's first make sure that this audio is coming through clearly.
You can hear it.
Yo, what's up, guys? G Money here. I wanted to walk you guys through my strategy.
Is that going through on the stream?
Yes.
Okay, beauty. All right.
Y'all can hear it, right? Someone give me a comment. Let me know you can hear it. Okay. Great. Yeah. Audio's great.
All right. So if you want me to pause it so you can say something, just let me know. And if I want to interrupt, I'll just interrupt it.
Bet you will.
Yo, what's up, guys? G Money here. I wanted to walk you guys through my strategy for the mint stake share ecosystem, specifically the staking protocol, as well as the lending protocol, Moon Yield. I'll just walk you through my position. So I have about 40 grand in MSS. That is split up across about 30 grand in the stake, about 15 grand as collateral for a loan, of which I'm taking out 7,500 MUSD. And then a farm, essentially, where I'm farming my 2,600 MUSD and making about $200 a day on that. So just a reminder, Moon Yield treats MUSD as $1, but its actual price right now is about $1.50. So there is profit to be made, all while not harming the MSS token. So we'll jump over to Moon Yield. You'll see that I have a 1.7 million MSS working for me. This is now 15.3K. Keep in mind, about 10 minutes ago, when this was back at the old price, this was about 13 grand, maybe 13.5. So I have a lot more MUSD I can borrow now. My collateral ratio before was about 185, so I've gained about 20%. So what can we do with this? Well, first I'm going to go to my stake. In this case, I will claim. So I'm going to get about 10,000 MSS tokens here. This is worth about.
Guys, so on this, all right, you see his deposit amount is 3.283 million. That was, I think when I talked to him earlier, and G Money, if you're on here, comment in, that was about 4 straight months of claiming. I mean of compounding. So on that, and also notice that is when the price of MSS goes up, your collateral ratio goes up. Just want to point those two things out.
Sorry, I missed the very last thing you said. Could you say it again?
Sorry. No, so, and when you notice, he says his collateral ratio goes up. That means the price of MSS is going up. So he has more he can actually borrow against his collateral. So go ahead and play it.
Yeah. $76 right now.
Well, actually, that's a great point that you bring up, though, right? Because like the MSS price for someone that's only using the staking aspect of MSS, the MSS price in the short term really doesn't make any impact, right? Because like you're on your compound claim strategy, you're playing it for the long game. Obviously you don't want the price to continuously be going down, but like any short-term price moves don't really make any impact to you, especially if you're still in like a compound heavy part of your strategy. Whereas like price moves make a drastic difference to you if you got a big position in, or any size position in moon yield, but we'll get into
like
that.
for example, right now, my deposits after I claimed this morning on my schedule are 1.291 million. I'm only doing I'm compounding 6 days a week, and today was my claim day. So because I still want to get to 2 million to be able to interact more with moon yield. So
yeah.
Log into my ledger. Highly recommend use a hardware wallet when you can. I will retry, and here we go. Accept. So this gives me about 10,000 MSS tokens. My stake will go to 0 for the available. My deposits will go down slightly. Great. Now over here, we want to add this MSS. So let me just refresh the site. Troves. There we go. Max. So I'm adding again 8.4K and bumping my percentage just a point. Seems trivial, but this is actually a decent amount of USDC. We'll see at the end. Accept that, and this will bump up my loan. So now we want to basically borrow against this. My target goal is to be at 185 for this particular loan. So I can drop a little bit lower. I can drop about to 182 because we're going to take some of this profit and actually put it back into MSS. So what do? Well, let's borrow some MUSD. Again,
So one thing I want to say here, so what G Money is doing here, he's doing everything exactly perfectly, but I think maybe for people that aren't familiar with how this works, maybe a little bit more explanation would have helped. So, because I know that this causes some confusion for users. So you can see right now his borrow amount, well, I can't really see because it's highlighted. It's 7,509 MUSD. So right now what he's trying to do is his collateral ratio is at 205%, and he wants to borrow enough to bring it down to like the mid 180s or low 180s. So what he's going to do, and because of the way that our DApp works basically, is you have to increase this number by the amount that you want to borrow. And the best way to do that is the way that he's going to do it, which is just like plug in a number and see how it looks, and then keep fine tuning it after that. Right. So the first thing he's going to do, you'll see in a second, is he's going to try 8,000. That's probably exactly what I would have done too. Then he sees the collateral ratio is still higher than what he needs it to be at. So then he increases the borrow amount more. But the key thing here to remember though, is that you're not putting in the new amount you want to borrow. You're putting in like the new total borrow amount, right? So if you want to borrow 1,000, you got to increase this number by 1,000, not type 1,000, right?
Right. Aim for about 182 right now. So let's go.
So he's aiming for 182, and just like he's just going to eyeball or just guess in his head that it's about 8,000, should get roughly there.
So 8,000.
But see, that gave him 192, which is higher than he needs.
That'll be 192. So let's go 8,400. Perfect. We'll do that.
So this is exactly how everybody should do it. Just plug in a number, see how it looks. If you need to adjust it higher or lower, then you do that.
Which makes me at about 183%. So submit, just so you guys soak this in. I'm currently inventing about $1,300 just on the MSS appreciation that we just saw in the last 6 hours.
This is important to explain this right here. All right. So you see, guys, it says 890 MUSD. Look to the right of it. $890 is actually $1,339.44 if you trade it for BNB or USDC. That's what he's trying to show you right here. So bear that in mind, because when he took out his loan, your collateral is being valued at $1. But if you take that one unit of MUSD and then you put that into the open market, you're actually getting that much more money. So that's why it's don't sell your MSS, use it this way. And he's going to explain the rest after that. I just want to make sure everybody caught that.
Well, and I think the other big thing that he's trying to push right here is that, so some of the backstory behind this, I'm not sure if everybody caught it, but so essentially MSS price was a big price increase, right? So every 6 hours, the Oracle resets, and you basically get the price increases from the last 6 hours kind of take effect every time the Oracle, resets, a new epoch starts. So this basically what he's showing is that all of this came from strictly the MSS price increasing, right? So MSS price went up 10% or something like that in that 6-hour period. So his $13,000 of MSS became worth $15,000 of MSS. So what he's saying is he's inventing, minting, creating out of nowhere, kind of, almost 900 MUSD, which is like 1.3K US dollars. And that's like the real point that he's getting across. Like he didn't do anything except for, let the MSS go up in price at this point, right? And that's what he's really like getting you to sink in.
So I will let that sink in. Awesome.
I might have watched this before, pre-watched.
Okay, sign. Let's do that. Now we have a big chunk of MUSD. What should we do with it? Well, one thing I like to do right away is put a certain amount into the stability pool just to get that sort of out of the way. In this case, let's do 290. So I'm going to open this. Let's refresh. And I will put 290 MUSD into my stability pool. And this will also claim the moonshare.
Let's just take a second to appreciate, though. He's got 2,600 already deposited. He's put another 300 in almost. So he's got almost 3,000 MUSD right now, earning 2,000% APR. So that's quite the earner in itself right there.
Share, which will sell for MSS. Keep in mind that was about $50 of Moonshare that we're getting. So that's really great as well. We already have over $100 of MSS that we're sort of either claiming or buying, which is great. This will go through and we'll be done with the stability pool for now. So we have, about 600 MUSD still to spend. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take some profit and I'm going to buy some MSS. So let's go to MUSD here, buy. It's exactly $1.50.
And so for anyone that didn't catch why he did what he just did, there's just a really easy way to get into PancakeSwap with the right tokens loaded. So even though he's not trying to buy MUSD, he's trying to sell MUSD. Just clicking that button is going to get him in PancakeSwap with the right tokens there. So that's why he did that.
So let's go to MUSD here, buy. It's exactly $1.50. This takes me over here. We'll flip it. I'm going to take about half this, so 300 MUSD. Keep in mind this is $450 that I am just profiting.
50% premium. So
all
the guys that cry about the MUSD buys, they're letting us sell MUSD at a 50% premium. So don't be crying about the buys. Say, bring it in. Bring us those buys. Right.
Just don't sell your MSS.
Hurting the MSS price at all. In fact, we're about to support the MSS price. So swap, confirm swap. I believe this is going through USDC, but nonetheless, I get about $444 of BNB for profit, and we will just bring that to the wallet. Voila.
Just to interrupt this real quick. We're already seeing a lot of stakes rolling in, so promo is working already, and we haven't even finished the AMA. And it's not even mentioned on the site yet, so expect that to really pick up.
This will go through, and now we have 300 more MUSD. Well, let's buy some MSS with it. So I'm going to go back here, spend the rest of my MUSD on BNB again, just so you can see kind of how the money is flowing. This is almost exactly the same amount of money, $450. So that is, let's see how much BNB that was, about 0.65 BNB. So perfect, we're done with the MUSD exchange. We can jump back to staking, jump back to swap. And now I'm going to spend about 0.65.
Also, I should mention, if anybody watching has any questions about anything he's doing, this would be a great time to ask. And I'll just pause the video and answer. So feel free to interrupt.
BNB. Actually, we have to sell the Moonshare. So we did get Moonshare, right? So let's sell that.
Side note, never seen anybody so excited to sell Moonshare. A little depressing, but all right, let's go with it.
He did say today that he has pivoted on that because he's got a big enough gap in his collateral ratio.
I know. I'm just joking around.
Oh, okay.
But on a serious note, though, the Moonshare staking is earning nice. Like I calculated one of my positions that I had open for like 2 days, it got a 9% return on the Moonshare in 2 days. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Don't sleep on Moonshare staking, guys.
Moonshare, I'll go to buy, flip, even more money to be sort of ported into MSS. We'll do a max here. It's $50, swap. So 0.07 BNB here. That means we can do a $500 MSS buy, which is great. 0.72 BNB. Okay, great. So we've done all the sells. We just made a bunch of BNB. I'm taking half of that for profit. And we'll jump over to the swap page, do a little refresh here. And I can do about, so let's do 0.72 BNB. I apparently can't type. There we go. About 51,000 MSS. So we'll do the swap. There it is, about 468. I think I added some BNB. You're welcome. And we will have the extra MSS. Now, what do? We supported the price of MSS. We also got some MSS. So now I'm at 183. I can, of course, refresh this and go to my troves and do a max here. And voila, I will be at 188, which is even higher than where I started after all of this craziness.
Oh, so G Money's actually watching the AMA, but he's a bit behind, so he hasn't caught up to this part yet. It would have been pretty cool to have him live on this, but that's all right.
So I've hedged my loan, less likelihood of getting liquidated, made $450, bought $500 of MSS, and ladies and gentlemen, increased my stability pool by 300 MUSD, which is equivalent to about 450 bucks. Yeah, and that's essentially my main strategy for the MSS ecosystem. If the MSS price were to stay the same, we'd probably do the same thing. We would claim from the stake, support the trove, and borrow. And if MSS price goes down, of course, we can do the same. We can also liquidate some of our stability pool position here as sort of a last resort, or bring in some capital from other projects to support it while it is declining. We've already gone up 1%. Guess what? That was pretty much my buy. So you're welcome. We'll go down to this chart. We have to zoom in with all the green candles. And there we are right here, the $500 buy. So great.
And this video is only, 12 hours old, and we're already up another 10% since then. I think the price is just at 0.009, and now we're at 1 cent. So,
well, Aaron, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Once this went out, everybody started really chatting, and everybody said the visual demonstration of how it goes all the way around the flywheel really helped them out.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, like I mentioned in the chat, like this video is just for only 7 minutes to be able to talk about everything that he discussed and actually demo the entire thing start to finish. It's pretty incredible. I bought like 2K more MSS since then. Fucking way to go, dude. Yep. I bought MSS on a couple wallets since the video too.
I think I've done 2 buys, 3 buys today. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes you feel good, right? You're getting funds to cash out through MUSD. You're pushing up the MSS price. You're building up your collateral. And, obviously with the MSS price going up, every single person with a trove is benefiting. Every single person that has staking is benefiting. Benefits everybody, right? So it's, yeah, I mean, this video really just broke it down super, super well.
Collateral sitting almost 16 grand. We are climbing.
Oh, and he just shared in TG, his collateral, I believe, is at 2 million MSS now. So,
well,
oh yeah, there you go. I'm at over 2 million now after 12 hours since the video. There you go.
Well,
that's the power.
Just pad them bags, why don't you there, G Money?
Yeah. Don't forget to keep throwing some extras in the book. I think this video is just about done. Oh yeah, there you go.
Aaron, I think that's a good note to end on, dude.
I wanted to go for another 2 hours, man.
Hey.
I'm just kidding. Excuse me. Let me see what else we could maybe talk about that I missed. Okay, so I'm going to do a buy competition for book and a buy competition for I need to see you triple that number. I need to see you at 2 million book holder G Money. That's what'll make me happy. Yeah, so to summarize, MSS promo is live right now. We will post something on the website that makes it very obvious that the promo is live. And I'll have a biggest buy competition set up for both MSS and for book. Rewards will be announced when I announce the buy competition. And yeah, I mean, a lot of great big things coming. Yes, it's everything's looking great. And guys, obviously I love MSS. I love Moon Yield. Moon Yield is mind blowing. It worked out better than I could have imagined. Right, just real quick, like when I looked into liquidity and I said, hey, this is going to be a great fit for MSS, I didn't realize it was going to work as well as it's working for us. And I know some people might just look at the liquidations and say, oh, it's been a disaster, but I mean, this is just the system working how it was designed to work based on the price action that we got on MSS. But overall, all the components of Moon Yield are all working beautifully. It gives demand for all the tokens. Look how strong our MUSD is. It's what allows the whole G money loop to work. Maybe there's one or two things that maybe optimally would have been a little slightly bit different, but like 99% of it is working like stellar. Like you couldn't ask for more, right? So I really want to stress that. Yeah, I think that's about it.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh, got a question here. Actually, I think we missed a couple questions. Up 4% since last Oracle. Nice. And we already looked at that one. What is impressive is how much of G stake was compounded. Awesome strategies built in personal money printers. You know it. Whoa, this guy creative next level fintech disguised as a meme coin. We in the right place, y'all. Buy and hold and earn. Hey, man, until Book is a couple cents, it's free money. And we have an LP tool coming up that's going to let you slim your position. You can't own too much Book. If you want to pick up 10 million Book right now, you can, right? And that's what that's going to do is it's just going to let you put a bunch of that into the LP tool, and you're just going to be cashing out a ton of BNB, and you're still going to have a massive bag of Book on the side. So as soon as some whales catch on to this, I'm going to put the LP tool page up on the site today. It's not going to be working yet, but it's going to explain it. When whales catch on to this, they'll be accumulating 5-10 million Book each, and the price is going to be exponentially higher. So,
and guys, if you fully soak in what G Money did with Moon Yield, you can actually use Moon Yield to go buy some Book token.
I'm telling you right now, anything under a couple cents is a steal. So do what you want to do, guys, but you'll thank me later if you enter it anywhere near these price ranges. Thoughts on ROI tax? We've talked about that before. Yeah. It's something that I think is beneficial. I think if it's not done right, it can cause a lot of problems. And I've kind of been coming to some conclusions in my head about, how it would ideally look to be fair for everybody, which is, actually, I think that's impossible. There's no way to be fair to everybody because for a lot of reasons, but I guess to be as fair as possible to the widest range of users, right? But yeah, I think that, part of me wants to have that out really soon, but I also don't want to rush it. And I think we also have a ton of super bullish things going on right now. And, one of the major things I've said about that is as soon as we brought up the ROI tax, guys started claiming at a record pace. Like the supply on MSS, let me just pull that back up. Oh, I closed my screen. One sec. Book is booming, by the way. Get in before it's $1. But I was going to look at this. See this supply? Our supply was like right around like 36 million for a long time, right? And that's because everybody kept compounding. Now that we start talking about an ROI tax, these guys are claiming at a record pace. You know what that did is it crippled their earning power, right? Like, so I think that like that announcement in itself was really helpful. Like I'm sure there's still the odd guy that probably just compounded, kept suicide compounding with a whale position. So, I think that an ROI tax, that's the type of individual that we need to target. Someone that's just started claiming like crazy. They've already kind of really crippled themselves, but it's important. I don't want to rush it. I think that, I'd always rather be working on bullish things just because it's more fun for me to do that. But I also think that it often can be more beneficial to the ecosystem to push out something bullish as opposed to start introducing restrictions. But it's still something important, just something that we got to get right. So,
well, Aaron, I think the chat over the last 24, 36 hours shows people are grasping the system as a whole. And it shows how you can circulate money through it. And I mean, it's a money printer if you use it right.
love your giving freely the knowledge. I love talking about stuff I'm passionate about. So my pleasure. As slick as your hair gel, Aaron. I did an especially good job today, I think. What do you think? Stellar. About to drop a book YouTube video in the next couple hours. People need to know about book. MSS Army, book Chads. Let's unite BNB chain and become that first BSC meme to 1 billion and support all the other projects on BSC at the same time. And Millions, got to give you a shout out, man. Thanks for all your content, all those tweets that you put out. You're always talking great about MSS, the whole ecosystem, about book, and just want you to know that we definitely see that and appreciate every little bit of it. So thanks, brother.
Secret agent man.
Great way, ecosystem resilience against the dump. What is the hashtag? The giveaway was the alpha today. Awesome AMA. The ecosystem is solid. People just need to digest everything shown today and also follow the top G method. Top G, I see what you did there. Agreed. Let it play out. We don't want to be too hasty. I agree. We are indeed back. Although we never left, just,
We never left. Everybody's just more educated now.
Just got about $200 of MSS and staked it. Let's go. I'll make another video focused on LPs too. Lots of money to be made. I'm going to have to get you on the payroll soon, man. But yeah, no, your content's it's been great. And, I think it's had an incredible effect on the community just in the last 12 hours since you posted it. So yeah, whatever else you can put out, I'm sure it'll be a massive hit. All right, guys. Any other questions? I don't think there's anything else I wanted to cover. Well, one thing quick is that, anyone that's, even if you are not interested in buying book for whatever reason, you can always, anybody can jump into the book TG and participate in our raids. We're actually paying out actual book rewards after every single raid. That's how we have like 400 active raiders in the book TG. So anyone from, our communities or anyone really can just, go in there and connect with the bot and hit a button and start making some free book. I think we paid out like $300-400 worth of book already.
Yeah, it works automagically.
It does. Until I got to reload it. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, every raid, that thing is sending book to like 130 to 160 wallets, depending. So like we're paying out rewards for sure. All right, guys. So just so I don't forget anything, 2 buy competitions coming up, and notice on the MSS site about the bonus, and then a bunch of book improvements. Okay.
I'm definitely going to have to make chapters for this AMA.
Yeah. Make a couple nice shorts too, if you can.
I will.
Awesome, man. Beautiful. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for joining. Sorry we didn't do a giveaway today. I think that would have made this even longer than it already was. But yeah, let's do some next week. We'll do giveaways. Maybe next week, if there's enough to talk about, I'll actually split the AMAs up into a book and an MSS separate AMA. So we'll see how much there is to talk about next week.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Stay bullish. 2 buy comps. Yep. So there's going to be a biggest buy competition for book, and there's going to be a biggest buy competition for MSS on BNB chain. Smash the like button. Great job once again. Thank you and cheers.
Gillis, much appreciated to you and the world of Book of Binance.
Hey, we're all yeah. I forget what I was going to say, but yeah,
we're all in, sir. That's what you were going to say.
Oh, I've been all in since I was born. Let's go. Thanks for all your effort, Aaron and team. All right, well, let's not drag this on any longer. I think we've got all the questions out of the way. All the alpha's been dropped. So everybody enjoy the rest of your day and rest of your week. And let's all get that yacht money together.
Yes.
Yacht and Lambo money. Let's get it.
All right, Aaron. Am I hitting the switch?
Hit the switch, sir.
All right. See you guys in the next video. Turn that page. Peace.